Welcome back, everyone. Chief Kevin Martin's back with us today from the Lima Police Department. We were just saying today and then next month, and that's the only ones we'll have. Then they're into the world of retirement, right?
Yes, indeed. And,
Yeah.
Not that I won't miss you, Jeff, but
Right.
I am actually looking forward to that. So.
I don't blame you. I would take off too. Okay, let's talk about some of the events coming up. We've got some already next month. Some of these you'll be able to attend, some you won't. You have a job fair at Allen East. Now, the job fair, I know you guys are looking for some people too. Is that maybe get some interest there as well?
Yeah, and since this is actually going to be primarily high school students, we're really looking at more as long-term recruitment. Okay. But, yeah, we want to, again, we attend as many of the local fairs as we can in order to be able to try to generate that interest from local people to stay local.
Yeah.
And to become police officers, because, again, it is still a very noble profession.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that the young people understand that a lot of what they hear on TV or that they see on the news, not your news.
Right.
But
fake news, right?
On the national news, though, sometimes a little bit distorted. It takes one incident out of context and makes it appear as though that's everywhere.
That's nice for you guys to talk with them. And also, they're local, so they have a stake in their community.
Yes.
May 20th, Police Week celebration. This is at West Middle School, and this is one of the things I know you really, really enjoyed was getting out in the schools, that kind of thing, right?
Oh, yeah. And again, that has a few different benefits. Again, in terms of that long-term recruiting, but also in terms of just helping the young people. Most of all, we want them to understand that if they're in trouble and they need help, we don't want them being afraid of the police and running away from us, but we want them to know that they can trust us and run to us. And this is one of those events that's just very helpful in making sure that happens.
In June, you'll have a coffee with a cop, and you guys have had these for a few years now. One of the ideas is folks come right up to you and give their suggestions. Does that come out as you pictured it would?
Oh, yeah. I think the Coffee with the Cop events have been very, very successful for us over the years. And again, it's a very relaxed way for people to come out and get to know the people who serve them and help us to get to better know the community that we serve.
Yeah, we've been there while people come up and said, hey, we've got people racing up and down our street, or we have loud noise, and then that maybe led to extra patrol and took care of the situation. So it's nice. I'm sure for you guys, it's nice to see that immediate result.
Yeah, and again, for us, as you mentioned that, it's really more an opportunity for us to listen as opposed to talking.
Right, yeah. Okay, June 11th, the mayor's spring cleanup, and you guys will be out and about. I know officers will sometimes help man the booths and man the dumpsters and that kind of thing, so that's a nice day to get everything all cleaned up, right?
Oh, yeah, and, again, I will mention that that's one of those events that if I'm there, if you see me, I'll be there as Citizen Martin, not as Chief Martin.
That's
anymore.
right. Yeah, you'll have your civvies on. Well, that also applies to July 4th, Star Spangled Spectacular. You'll be retired by then. But how do you guys in the past, has that been a big day for you to help with security and that kind of thing, and maybe just crowds and stuff?
Oh, yeah, we will have a very big presence there in terms of the overall security and in terms of the traffic flow for the ingress and the egress for people coming and going from the event.
Yeah, and it always seemed like people, for the most part, behave themselves pretty well on July 4th.
Oh, yeah, it's always a good event. Now, again, anytime you get that large of a concentration of people, you might have some small problems that erupt. But, again, with the amount of officers we have on hand and everything, we're able to take care of them pretty quickly. And thankfully, over the years, it's been just an incredible event for the entire community.
Yeah, you'll be a civilian again on National Night in August. Those are always a nice event. I know in the past you've done, the Canine's been down there doing some rappelling. That's kind of a neat to demonstrate some of the things you do. Oh,
yeah, and we like to coordinate with Allen County EMA and the Allen County Sheriff's Department so they can highlight or show off some of the things that they do. And that's why last year, for the first time, rather than having it on the same day as the Sheriff's Departments, we chose a different date for the event so that, again, we could work together better in both events, the one that the Sheriff's Department held and then the one that we held, and we're hoping to do the same thing this year. So that's why we don't have the exact date chosen yet.
Yeah, even as a civilian, I'm sure people are still going to come up and say, hey, I got this guy racing up and down the street. It's going to take a while before we get used to that.
I think it probably will, yeah.
Chief, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Good
my
seeing
pleasure.
you. Don't go away. Medical news coming up next on Noon Edition.